Hey, well, this is Travis back again. And again, thanks everyone for attending our webinar this afternoon, Sell More to Existing Customers. If you have any questions or anything, please ask during the webinar. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. It should take about 30 minutes and be back on your way. So what is white space? White space is a gap between what products or services your customers have bought or invested in and other products or services that your company or business has to offer. Now, the key thing here is white space are customers. So if I look in Salesforce, for example, under the account type, it would be customer. I've already sold something in to the account, or they're very interested in something in the account, but I've not quite sold it. That's called greenfield, and white space is I've sold something into the account. Basically, it's PrePipeline, customer initiative. So what it allows me to do is capture some initiatives that the customer is doing, turn that into white space, and that's my PrePipeline. It's more than a lead, but it's not quite an opportunity. There's a lot of benefits to capture this PrePipeline information or revenue, and we'll show you that and give you some examples why that's very important to capture that PrePipeline or white space. One, it's easier to sell to existing customers. They have bought your products or solutions before, so it's something they know you. They bought something from you. They're using something you sold your company or you in particular. So that's a good way. You know the players in the account. You probably talked to everybody. You know who the players are. You knew who to contact. You knew who to reach out to. It's nothing going after that you don't understand within the account. You have entry points to meeting with the decision makers. So I know who the decision makers are. I can contact them. I can talk to them. And when you're really asking about initiatives in a customer, you become more of a trusted advisor than really a salesperson. You're interested in what they are trying to do, their business, what are they going to do in the future. It's very important to them and not just trying to come in and sell a product and not really interested in, what's going on with them. And you have a reason to call them. If they're a customer, you have a reason to call. How's the product treating you? Anything I can help you with? So it's just not that cold call. It's a reason to make a call and then start that dialogue with them to be able to drive some potential revenue, understand their pain points or challenges, what are they doing internally. So that's very, very critical. Again, selling to existing customers is a lot easier. And really the additional bigger benefit is it costs up to 10x selling to new customers. So your cost of sales to new customers is, acquisition cost of those customers is very, very high. And these days you can almost be assured that when a customer does reach out to you, you're probably in the top 3 vendors that they've already, narrowed it down to the top 3. So, but that target acquisition list or that target going after is a lot higher, and that cost of acquiring those customers is a lot higher if they're new customers. If they're existing customers, again, it's a lot cheaper. You have entry points, you know who to talk to, and you pretty much know their business and help them with the initiatives. What do you need to know to find white space? Understand current and future initiatives. What are they planning on doing in the future and why? Again, it's just not, why are they doing this? Are they doing it because of regulatory reasons? Are they doing it because they're about to buy another company? Are they getting bought or acquired? Why are they doing what they're doing? And you can really turn and hone your messaging around this particular thing and why. The why is very critical when looking at identifying the white space and what do they plan on doing. And it may not be the person that you know within the account. It may be another division within that account, but at least you can have an entry point into saying, hey, what's going on? Identify the pain points or needs with your client or customers. While you're having these strategic business units, it's critical to identify the pain point. Again, really a strategic business meeting isn't about selling products. It's to understand the customer. What do they want to do? Where are they going to go? What needs do they have now and in the future? What pain points or challenges are they experiencing? That's very, very critical, because you really need to be able to know these things in order to go ahead and give them a solution, or even provide them some kind of product or solution to meet their needs. Discover if the customer is attempting to solve the problem or need. Are they developing it internally? Seen this hundreds and hundreds of times of, oh, we're going to go ahead and build it internally. Well, that's good, but normally your customers aren't technology companies building products. They're manufacturing. There could be software, but not really tuned to sales or gathering this type of data or acting upon it. So it's really critical to understand if they're having internal development, because one is, there is an ongoing cost to internal development. You've got to pay for the developers. What happens when that developer leaves? Is there no documentation? So it's very critical to understand if they're doing that, and then you can come up with maybe a cost benefit, a return on investment for your solution or products. But it's good to know, other than going down the route and then all of a sudden, oh, we've already built that. You really got to, based on the pain points, really can shine on what your product does differently right out of the box and get them up and running quickly, because there's some things that they want to do from an initiative that they have to get done quickly. And if they build a product, that could just lengthen it out. You have to identify and offer a solution to fit the need of your customer. That's very critical. So once I identify the pain point, I can go ahead and say, okay, here's a product or solution that I can sell them to meet their need. It's also a good opportunity to see if our product or solution doesn't fit that need now, will it by the time they're going to start the initiative? If we've got something in the roadmap to say that we're going to go ahead and look at a product to deploy in 6 months, and you look at your current product list, oh, we're missing a couple features, will those features be in your product by the time you're going to go ahead and start really pitching the product or solution to the customer? Now, if you're doing this and you're identifying these initiatives, and you have enough initiatives where you don't completely meet the customer requirement, this can be a call to action to product development to go, you know, if we built this point or piece into the product, we could generate X amount of revenue. It would pay for itself in 18 months if we did this one thing with our product. So this is very critical in products that you have, and also identifying gaps and roadmap issues. You know, once you get this white space, you have to be able to track it. You can track it from within an account, and you need to track it from a global perspective. So identify any potential pre-pipeline revenue to pull in early to fill the shortfall. So we've all seen it, you know, month into the quarter, we know we're going to slip a few deals. Is there anything that we know about that we can bring in earlier? For example, I know of some customer initiatives happening next quarter. Can I maybe bring those into this quarter with some incentives or anything I can do with that customer that can start filling that shortfall? But if I don't know where those are at, it's hard to identify. But we can actually track that white space, and it's even greenfield. You can align marketing activities to actual customer initiatives. So I've got all these customers that want to do these initiatives, and the probability of similar customers wanting this, having these issues or pain points and these initiatives is probably pretty good, you know, based on the customer type, the region, the industry that they're in, maybe some other things from an analytical perspective. You can go ahead and say, now I have a marketing campaign to target these customers based on these initiatives. So now I can start looking at a lot more potential pipeline. These are, and when you get these and you hook them, they're very mature leads by the time you get them. You're not cold calling. You understand probably why they want to talk to you. Understand potential product or solution gaps in your portfolio. Again, if I know 10 customers need this little item added to the product, and that helps me sell that and then sell additional revenue, why wouldn't I do that? So this is a great way to look at pipeline issue or roadmap issues. It also gets everybody involved. It gets account executives involved. It gets product management involved. It gets marketing involved. Everybody gets involved in this process of trying to build a pipeline, pre-pipeline, and bring that revenue over, products, marketing activities. So it really gives a team effort to building a great, sustainable business. So now I'm going to jump in and show you a practical exercise on this. Are there any questions anybody may have right now? We'll pause a bit for questions. Great. So I'm going to jump right into Salesforce, and I'm in the Lightning interface. And as you can see, I'm in Account Mapper, and I'm in specifically the account plan right here. And I really want to concentrate on the customer initiatives. So I can click on this tab right here, and you can see that I have some initiatives identified with this customer already. What makes us very unique and easy to use is these initiatives can all be dropped down. So I don't have to type a lot of information. I can tune it to my business, what's important to me and my company to drive revenue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create an initiative from start. Having a conversation with the customer, they've indicated, hey, what do you guys plan on doing next 6 months, 12 months, year, and how can we help you? So one of the things they're talking about doing is doing a strategic account program. Well, fantastic. So now I understand their pain point. Now, do I have a product or solution that can meet it? So I go down here and I pull from my products list and I go, we do have a product and it's Strategy Mapper. I can choose multiple products out of here if I wanted to. It's all based on what the customer initiative is and how am I going to fix that initiative. I also found out that the time frame that they're going to be doing it in is next year, Q2. That's when they're going to start the initiative, not when they're going to make the purchase, but when they're going to start the initiative. I can also add in some information. So there's a bunch of folks going to make the decision. I can put in whatever I want here. Now, I even can put a customer contact. Who with the customer is running with this initiative? Who's the program director? Who's the business owner of this particular project? And I can go in here, and I'm going to go ahead and search on some folks. And I'm going to say it's Aaron. Now, what I can do also in this interface is I can email Aaron specifically and ask and talk about this particular initiative. So I've got my contact, I've got the product, I've got the initiative, I got my time frame. The only thing out there left to kind of think about is potential revenue. I don't have to be exact about that. This is pie in the sky based on what we've talked about. I could say the potential revenue is $250,000. That's just what I believe it is. And I'm going to go ahead and save this. Now what happens is this now, let me get that back here. Do a quick one right here. Save it. Got a bad value there. I'm going to go ahead and save it now. John here is the one that I'm going to be communicating with. Live demos, you got to love them. So I've got my revenue potential, I have everything here. There's a couple other things I can do in this interface. One is I can create an opportunity. When I create an opportunity, this will not go into Whitespace. That goes right into Pipeline. I create an opportunity, or I can create a milestone. Now, the reason I would want to create a milestone, let's say that I've uncovered an initiative, but it's not necessarily something that I would work on, or I want to make somebody else aware of this initiative. I can go ahead and create a milestone and then assign that milestone to anybody else in my organization to follow up on. Maybe I want product management to follow up with John about this particular item, initiative. That's why you create a milestone. Or maybe I want to set something up in the future, remind myself that I need to go back and talk to him about this particular initiative. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now, for you individuals that use Pardot, what this indicates here is when this initiative is identified and you have a automated marketing plan in Pardot automation, that when I have a meeting and this is identified in the meeting, the people in those meetings are automatically pushed into Pardot to be targeted for direct, we call it knowledge-driven marketing. So I'm really pinpointing or laser focusing my marketing based on information I've gathered in meetings with my customers. And I know this is a problem and this is something they're going to do. So I've got all this, and as you can see here, I've got my milestone. I can assign it to anybody in my organization, a due date, and an email notification. So that's the milestone aspects of it. I go into here. Now I want to kind of track Whitespace from an account-specific nature. So I go into here. I can look at Whitespace. I can see that I have 4 Whitespace selling opportunities. Here's the potential value of those. Here's the product mix that I'm selling, or at least going to propose. And here's the time frame of when they're going to be happening right here. So it gives me a little bit of value of what I'm doing inside of this account. I always kind of make it a best practice when I do this. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to save it again to the account details. I want to go back into more and just again look at that Whitespace again and make sure everything's copacetic and everything's where it should be. So we're all good to go right here. So this has basically allowed me to capture the Whitespace for this particular account right here. Now, if I want to look from a global perspective or an organizational perspective in Salesforce, then what it would do is we'd go into this dashboard, the Greenfield and Whitespace analytics. And what this is telling me is really across the entire organization, how much revenue pre-pipeline is out there right now. So, and I can look at what different initiatives this revenue is tracking to. I got 2 million here, BI analytics. I got 600,000 teams not practicing sales methodology. So this gives me the ability to say, okay, if I need to pull in, $200,000 into this quarter, how could I do that? Where would I take this without having to go out and do a massive email campaign or a massive selling effort? But where could I pull this into? And this is where I pull that revenue from, one of these. And then I can see what time frame they are and allow me also to choose which ones that I want to drive from. From a marketing perspective and a team onboarding or new rep onboarding, what are the top initiatives that we're identifying in our customers right now? So this gives me the top initiatives, and I can utilize this for marketing. When I hire somebody new, I go, you know what, this is probably a good initiative. Ask them about strategic account programs. And guess what? Boom, they have it. And now I can start, I'm coming across more, better information when I talk to my customers. So that is right here. What's the revenue potential from each one of these? From opportunities. So these are customer initiatives that have actually turned into opportunities. And what's the revenue of those? So this is actually pipeline. Number of opportunities created from initiatives. I got 4 from strategic account program. And I've won 9 so far this year of initiatives that have turned into opportunities. I've got these different white space CIs. You'll notice I have some greenfield. So these are accounts that are prospects that I haven't sold anything into. This is net new business. And I have got 2 of those, and they are in the Strategic Account Program initiative. So this may be a way for me to acquire new, if I have a requirement to get, 1 or 2 new logos in a quarter, then maybe this is the way that I can get that from, is these initiatives. And again, this is, when you tie this into marketing, this is where you can get those greenfield opportunities or greenfield selling opportunities right here. Location, what state, province, region am I driving leads a lot of initiatives from? And what industries? Almost all the data that we gather from Strategy Mapper as a whole is structured data. So with the structured data, you can build some really amazing reports and dashboards, run a lot of analytics on selling, what's going on right now. It's very, very powerful. So this is just the dashboard that we ship, with the product, and it'll update when you want. I can change who I view it to. I may be able to view it as a director or manager, so my data may be different than me looking at it from an individual perspective. I just change who I'm viewing it as right here. Any questions on the practical exercise that we just completed? You can see that it's very, very easy to do and gather this great information within Salesforce and within Strategy Mapper. I'm going to jump back to the PowerPoint. So any comments or questions, we love to hear about them. We love to answer any that you may have regarding how you do it or anything like that. So it'd be great to, if you have any. You can always email us later if you like. So, if you're a Salesforce customer, you can start a 30-day trial. You search Strategy Mapper on the Salesforce App Exchange. We are a 5-star rated app. We have about 20 reviews, so we're 5-star rated. You can schedule a personalized demo, so we can go through the entire account planning, opportunity planning, meeting planning, execution, the operational aspects of selling using our product. And just go to pointintime.com and request a demo. You can email sales@pointintime.com. You can email me directly at travisd@pointintime.com. Or you can call us at 214-509-8664. If you're local in the Dallas area, we'd love to stop by and say hi and see what pain points you're having around strategic account planning, operational sales planning, meeting planning, and execution. And I've got you back about 5 minutes if there's no questions, but I would like to say thank you very much for attending, and we look forward to talking to you in the very near future.